welcome back, everyone, to the Bitcoin Business Bureau. I'm your host, as always, Litecoin Leader. Subscribers only today. We're talking about another altcoin for ALTCOINopoly. And it's an old coin, but it's been, I'll say, rebranded, restructured. It's as if it's brand new. The team has been working on it for a while. They have a little bit of new leadership, but they have new direction for certain. It's a project out of Southeast Asia. It's in very hot sectors now, helping out with Ethereum, helping out with DeFi. It's got a lot of good press in the last 12 months. There's a lot to like about it. So let's talk about this coin and see where it's at today. Just a quick reminder that nothing in this video is considered financial advice. I am not your financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Seek out your own advice and do your own diligence, do your own research. Starting once again with the ALTCOINopoly board, the 35 spaces we have available. We're talking today about Zone 3, which is the top of the board. So that's Zone 3, otherwise known as the platform section of the board. Now, this particular coin that I'm looking at is at the corner because it is really the borderline between Zone 2 and DeFi and financials and Zone 3 of platforms because it's working in both now. It does have a new blockchain. It has a new mainnet, but it's also moving into the DeFi sector. It also represents the Far East, so I moved it furthest away from the start of the board. I know. I played a bunch of games with this and I'm picking out my spaces, but they all made sense to me at the time. So this particular coin, without further ado, is a project called OMG, formerly known as Amisago, but it's now just known as OMG because they rebranded last year. So that's the coin for today. We're going to delve into the news and the charts and decide why it earned a space here and what kind of rating I have on it right now. But it's an interesting project, so let's stay tuned and find out more information. So this project is now called OMG. It used to be called Amisago because the original company that started it was Omise in Thailand. And they started it back in 2013, where they were working to bank the unbanked. Now, this project has gone through some iterations and was almost left for dead about 1.5 to 2 years ago. When we get to the chart, you'll see why. But they were trying to bank the unbanked. They were trying to move forward with different projects. But now they've retooled, restructured what they're doing, and they basically just rebranded themselves. They have moved off of the Ethereum blockchain. They were an ERC20 coin. Now they are on their own mainnet as of June, and they've rebranded to just OMG. So they are now just considered OMG. Amisago name is gone. The question is, what do? They do two things. One is they do layer 2 scaling solutions for Ethereum, which we all know is a problem. That's why Matic's been so successful, and Loopring and Loom, and we all know the issues that Ethereum has with scaling. Also, they're now getting into the DeFi space. So OMG has long-term relationships with both Vitalik Buterin and Gavin Wood. Those two names should sound familiar. Vitalik is the lead person at Ethereum, whereas Gavin is the lead person at Polkadot. He used to work with Vitalik when they were both at Ethereum. So now OMG has close ties to them. They're both advisors. But OMG is the first project that worked with what they call Plasma. And Plasma is a specification that was written by Vitalik Buterin it's a scaling solution for Ethereum. So OMG is actually built using Plasma. So they are a layer 2 solution, which is basically a side chain or another layer above the Ethereum platform. Think of it as an on-ramp, off-ramp for the superhighway of Ethereum. And OMG is built there. So they are ready to scale accordingly. So they've moved on from the banking the unbanked, which a lot of projects are now doing, to more of a scaling solution for Ethereum and also the DeFi sector. Why is the DeFi sector prominent? Well, one of the latest news articles that came out from the Amisago project, the OMG project now, is that they were recently acquired by a Hong Kong over-the-counter trading firm. So jumping to that article from Cointelegraph, Hong Kong OTC trading firm acquires OMG network. So this was done back in December of 2020. Went without much notice whatsoever. And this is important to notice because, again, I go back to what Omisigo was originally founded. It was the Omisi company. It's in Southeast Asia. They're based in Thailand. Their target audience was Southeast Asia. So we have to remember that crypto is global, and we have a bias towards North America. That's where most of the projects are, maybe somewhere in Europe. We don't hear about too much going on in Asia, even though there's development going on. Omisigo/OMG is one of those. So what happened back in December was that a company called Genesis Block, which is based in Hong Kong, it's an over-the-counter trading firm, they acquired OMG. So now OMG is going to be their number one platform for lending and trading for their version of the DeFi sector. So now we have OMG becoming likely a bigger player in the DeFi space, and they're a layer 2 solution that works with the Ethereum blockchain. And they have an advisor in Gavin Wood. So those are three good ties in the crypto space that say OMG could get more value, get more attention, could basically resurrect from the dead that they've been the last couple of years, and we'll see the price chart, and they could take off. And it's in a market in Southeast Asia that is ready to boom if the right products are announced. I don't know of too many DeFi projects that I can think of off the top of my head that are based in Thailand or the Southeast area in general. So a lot of them are stateside or in Europe. So I like that this project is heading that direction. It's one to watch. It's fallen off the radar mostly because it was doing the banking and the unbanked thing 2, 3, 4 years ago. Went through the boom cycle in 2017, and then it's kind of tapered off to no action. So OMG's picked up a lot of activity in the last several months because it's a trustless layer 2 solution. It's also going to add staking and be a proof of stake on its mainnet. That has the details have not been announced of how that's going to work, but that's going to lead to both a demand for OMG tokens and also an investment. And people are going to want to acquire OMG to stake, but also the supply is going to go down because more people will stake as well. So more and more coins will come off of the market, which will increase the general price because there's fewer available. Two other significant stories that I want to mention that's happened in the past 12 months for Omisigo. In the last year, Omisigo has both been listed on Coinbase. That was done back in May. So that boosted the price, and we'll go over the charts in a moment. But also, Omisigo partnered with Tether. So that was in August. And what that helped is that if you look at the transactions on the Ethereum blockchain and what's driving the high fees, number one is Uniswap, number two is Tether. Tether is driving a lot of extra cost because everybody wants to trade in and out of Tether quickly on the Ethereum blockchain because that's how they go into a stablecoin. Tether sucks up a lot of value and a lot of cost there for transactions. So the fact that OMG is now working with Tether to pull Tether off of the main chain and off to the side chain of OMG, and they can do all the Tether transactions and bring it back to the Ethereum blockchain, will reduce the general fees both for acquiring and using Tether and also to reduce the general traffic and lower the general fees on Ethereum. So those two are both significant pieces of information and news. So that's the news on Omisigo, now known as OMG. Let's take a look at the chart and see where we're going. Pulling up the main two charts once again for OMG, I'm looking at the last year or year to date on a daily chart for both OMG against the US dollar and OMG against Bitcoin. Now, finding patterns on the US dollar chart is a little tricky because I seem to see a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pattern followed by an ABC correction for Elliott wave, but it's a little tight to see. So that's why I wanted to jump over to Bitcoin and see the similar timeline and see if the chart is a little bit more pronounced. So same timeline, it is a little bit more pronounced. I clearly see a peak and a valley for 1 and 2, a run up for 3, a good pullback of 50% or more for 4, and a last push upwards for 5, and then an ABC correction. So that to me starts to lean towards, hey, this could be heading in an uptrend again. Now, how big can that uptrend be? That's where we have to really zoom out and we have to understand that OMG has been rebranded. Things are going a different direction. Now we have to treat it as a DeFi coin more than, and a layer 2 coin more than a banking the unbanked coin. So Historical prices may not be that relevant, but they do provide some context for people that have been in this project for a long time. So looking at the big picture on the Bitcoin scale, and we definitely have to zoom out here. So going back to all time, you can see how this basically it's down to almost nothing compared to historical values. We're looking at 13,000 Satoshis right now, whereas this line right here is 116,000. It's a 10x. It would be a 10x to get to this first blue line. And then it's another double there, and it's almost a triple there. So you're looking at 10 to 25x potential for OMG, which would put it in the 50, let's see, 25 by 5. Well, 10x would be about $40 to $50 a coin. 25x would put it over $100. Now, OMG, as far as against the US dollar, we just went over that. Historically speaking, where are we at long term? Let's look at the biggest picture here. For all time, we go back to 2018, the all-time high was in the 30s, it appears. So, can it get there? Yes. Anything's possible for OMG with the rebranding, with it now moving to help work with Tether as a layer 2 scaling solution, and also the fact that it's now in the DeFi space, and it's representing an underserved market in Southeast Asia. The upside potential is there. The charts don't necessarily tell the entire story, so that's why we have to look at both the charts and also the fundamentals and see if we can come to a reasonable conclusion about the upside versus downside risk for a newly branded project. Basically, they just reimagined, rebranded themselves. So there's the coin for today. It's OMG, like the exclamation in texting, not necessarily because of it used to be Omisigo. It's now just OMG. That's the name. Kind of like KFC, but different. All right, we'll go there. It is now in the DeFi sector. It's been purchased by a team in Hong Kong. So now they're their lead arm for DeFi. Also, it's a layer 2 project. I like it a lot because of the association with Vitalik Buterin, and also he likes that they use Plasma to build out the chain. So they rebranded, they restructured, they're on their main net. They also, working with DeFi, they have the layer 2 solution. They also have a partner in Gavin Wood as an advisor, which will get them a foot in the door working with Polkadot. So there's a lot to like about this coin, but there's some risk. So let's see where I rated this coin this week. So now's the time where we give the coin rating for a project like OMG. I keep wanting to say Omisigo, it's OMG. So once again, a quick review. We are in Zone 3, the top of the board. We're in the border of Zone 2. Zone 3 is platforms, right next to the DeFi space. And this project is right at the corner, which is OMG. Now, OMG used to be banking the unbanked, and now it rebranded, and now it's moving more towards the DeFi sector, and it's also doing layer 2 solutions for Ethereum. It does have its own blockchain, so it does fit the bill of a platform, but it's an interesting project. It's kind of unto itself. So, quick review of the coin rating system. Again, it's a system from 1 to 5. 3 is average, 1 is weak, 5 is highest. Omisigo, corner space. Where do we put it, or close to the corner? This project is a tough read. I've been following this project for a long time. I lost track of it, then I remembered it again, and I started looking at it again, but I didn't realize how much it changed for the project until I started delving further into the project. I think it's a good project for the DeFi and the layer 2 products that they're creating. And I also like that it's from Thailand and the Southeast Asia area, which is underrepresented in crypto space, and we need to pay more attention to that. But it's a risky project. They rebranded, they're retooling, they're looking in a different direction. I like the fact they have Gavin Wood from Polkadot. I like the fact they have Vitalik Buterin, both as his advisors. He's from Ethereum. I like the fact that they just got purchased by Genesis block, which is going to move them towards the DeFi space. So there's good upside here. I think the good upside is high, but I can't give it more than a 2, just for all the risk of what's been going on. I would love to put it a higher, and I'm going to keep an eye on it to see if it deserves more, but it's a risky project. It's basically started over. Their charts were abysmal for the last 2 years prior to 2020. like a lot of projects, but at least they've been around, they've been working on things, and they received enough interest to be purchased, and now they're moving towards the DeFi space and the Layer 2 solution, which are both hot sectors. So the rating might be a bit conservative, but I like it where it's at. I think it's worthy of a space on the board. I just wouldn't go head over heels for it or all in on it, not financial advice. But that's my rating for the coin this right now. It could change down the line as we're going to keep tracking these coins at LitecoinLeader.com. That's what we're going to do. And that's my rating for the project today. So there's the rating. It's only a 2. I think the risk is a bit high because it's basically brand new. It's been restructured. A lot of people have forgotten about this project, but it could get some traction. It could really take off. There's market asymmetry here, which is a nice way of saying that the price is low, can't go much lower. It could go much higher. Not financial advice, but you're already a subscriber, so you know the deal. It at $4 or $5 a coin, it could go to 50 to 100, or go down to below $1. I don't think it's going to go below $1. I think it's pretty much at its floor right now. So the upside is pretty good for a coin with not a lot of downside risk. So it's a 2 out of 5 for me for now. I'm going to keep a close eye on it. I'm going to keep tracking it going forward. It gets a spot on the board. It's well worth it. So that's all the information on OMG today. Let's close the drawer on the bureau, and I'll see you next time.